The executive office was all dark wood and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Isabella Torres stood nervously in the doorway, clutching an envelope containing every dollar she'd managed to scrape together. At 29, she was a plus-size woman who'd spent her life being told she wasn't enough, not thin enough, not pretty enough, not worthy enough. Today, she felt all of that acutely as she faced the man who held her family's future in his hands. Adrian Blackwell sat behind an imposing desk, reviewing documents. At 36, he was CEO of Blackwell Enterprises, known for his ruthless business dealings and cold demeanor. When his assistant announced Isabella, he looked up with an expression that revealed nothing. "Miss Torres, you requested this meeting regarding your father's debt." Isabella stepped forward, trying to project confidence she didn't feel. "Yes, my father owes you $300,000. He's sick, he can't work, and he's terrified you'll take everything. I'm here to offer payment." Adrian studied her with dark, unreadable eyes. "You have $300,000? I have $50,000. It's everything I've saved working 2 jobs for the past 5 years." She placed the envelope on his desk. "I know it's not enough, but I'm asking, begging for more time. I'll pay the rest, monthly installments, whatever you need. Just please don't destroy my father. Your father made bad business decisions and defaulted on a loan. That's not my problem. He made those decisions trying to pay for my mother's cancer treatment. She died anyway. He lost everything trying to save her. Doesn't that earn any compassion? Compassion doesn't pay debts." Isabella felt tears threatening but refused to cry in front of this man. "Then take the $50,000 as a down payment. Give me 5 years. I'll work myself to death if I have to." Adrian opened the envelope, counted the money, then looked at her with an expression she couldn't decipher. "This is everything you have?" "Every cent. Where do you work?" "I'm an accountant at a small firm during the day. I do freelance bookkeeping at night." She lifted her chin. "I'm good at what I do. I'll make the payments. I just need time." Adrian was quiet for a long moment. Then he did something completely unexpected. He put the money back in the envelope and pushed it across the desk toward her. "I don't want your money." Isabella stared. "What?" "I said I don't want your money. Keep it. I don't understand. My father's debt is forgiven, all of it. He owes me nothing." Isabella felt dizzy. "Why, what's the catch?" "There is one condition." Adrian stood, walking around his desk to face her directly. "You owe me nothing but dinner together." "Dinner?" "Yes, dinner, with me tonight." Isabella looked at him suspiciously. "That's all? Just dinner and my father's debt is forgiven. That's all? Why would you do that?" "Because you walked into my office prepared to sacrifice everything you have for your father. Because you've worked 2 jobs for 5 years to save money while most people would have given up. Because you stood here, visibly terrified, and still demanded I show compassion. That takes courage." He paused. "And because I'm tired of dinner meetings about profit margins and market share. I'd like to have dinner with someone real for once. Look at me. I'm not the type of woman men like you have dinner with." Adrian's eyes narrowed. "Men like me? Wealthy, successful. You probably date models and actresses. She gestured at her curvy figure. "I'm just me." "I can see you," Adrian said quietly. "A woman who came here ready to pay a debt that wasn't hers. Who values family over wealth? Who has the courage to walk into a predator's office and demand mercy? That's exactly the type of woman I want to have dinner with." Isabella didn't know what to say. "Okay, dinner, tonight. But just to be clear, my father's debt is really forgiven." "This isn't some trick?" "I'll have my lawyers draw up the papers this afternoon." "The debt is forgiven. No strings attached beyond our dinner." That evening, Adrian picked Isabella up in a car so expensive she was afraid to sit in it. He took her to an intimate restaurant, not showy, just excellent food and quiet atmosphere. "I expected you to take me somewhere with photographers," Isabella admitted. "Prove you were seen with a fat girl, make yourself look magnanimous. First, you're not fat. You're beautiful. Second, I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I wanted dinner with you, not a photo opportunity." "Why?" Isabella asked bluntly. "I genuinely don't understand. You're CEO of a huge company. You could have anyone. Why forgive a massive debt for dinner with me?" "Because everyone I meet wants something from me. Money, connections, status. You walked into my office wanting to give me everything you had, asking for nothing but time. That's rare. You're rare. Over dinner, they talked for hours. Adrian told her about building his company from nothing, about the loneliness of success, about how people saw his wealth instead of him. Isabella shared her own struggles, growing up with a sick mother, working her way through school while facing constant judgment about her appearance, learning to value herself when the world told her she shouldn't. My father taught me that worth isn't measured in pounds or dollars, Isabella said. It's measured in character. The world doesn't agree, but he's right. He raised a remarkable daughter, Adrian said, brave enough to walk into my office and demand I see your family's humanity. Most people would have just accepted defeat. I couldn't do that. He's my father. He sacrificed everything for our family. I'd do the same for him. That loyalty, that fierce protectiveness, it's extraordinary. Adrian reached across the table, taking her hand. Can I confess something? I've been watching your father's file for months, waiting to see if anyone in his family would step up, show character worth preserving. When you called requesting this meeting, I was hoping you'd be remarkable. You exceeded my expectations. You were testing us? I was looking for people worth investing in. Your father made bad decisions, but they were made from love. You worked yourself to exhaustion to save him. That's the kind of character I want to support, not destroy. So the dinner was genuine. I wanted to meet the woman brave enough to demand compassion from someone with a reputation for having none. I wanted to know if the person in my office matched the character I saw in the financial records. They dated carefully over the following months. Adrian introduced Isabella to his world, not to show her off, but to share his life. Isabella showed Adrian her world, small apartments and family dinners, showing him that wealth wasn't required for richness. People stare at us, Isabella said one evening at a charity gala. They wonder what you're doing with someone like me. Let them wonder. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm with the most remarkable woman I've ever met. Someone who values family over appearance, character over status, loyalty over convenience. I'm terrified, Isabella admitted. Of this world, of not being enough, of people judging you for being with me. The only person whose opinion matters is mine. And I think you're perfect exactly as you are. Brave, fierce, loyal, real. Everything I've been looking for. A year after that first meeting, Adrian proposed, not at a fancy restaurant, but at Isabella's father's modest house, with her father present. You came to my office to pay a debt, Adrian said. You offered me everything you had. I told you that you owed me nothing but dinner. That dinner changed my life. You showed me that worth isn't measured in balance sheets. It's measured in courage, loyalty, and fierce love for family. Will you marry me? Isabella's father cried. You saved me because of her? I saved you because you raised a daughter who'd sacrifice everything to protect you. That's not weakness. That's the strongest love I've ever witnessed. I wanted to be part of it. At their wedding, Isabella told their story to emotional guests. I walked into Adrian's office expecting nothing, she explained. I offered him everything I had, $50,000 and a desperate plea for time. He gave me back my money and asked for dinner instead. Just dinner. That night, I learned that the man with a reputation for ruthlessness actually values character over profit. He forgave my father's debt not because of the money I offered, but because of the person I showed him I was. Adrian added, Isabella came to my office and said, you owe me nothing but dinner together. Actually, I said she owed me nothing but dinner. But the principle stands. She came to pay a debt and instead gave me something more valuable, herself. Her courage, her loyalty, her fierce protectiveness of family. That's worth infinitely more than $300,000. Years later, they'd tell their children about the day their mother walked into a CEO's office to save her father. Mommy offered everything she had, Adrian would explain. And I realized that someone willing to sacrifice everything for family was exactly who I'd been looking for my entire life. Daddy forgave Grandpa's debt, Isabella would add. Not because of money, but because he recognized that our family had something worth preserving. He saw past balance sheets to the love underneath. Because sometimes the bravest thing we do is walk into the offices of powerful people and demand mercy. Sometimes offering everything we have reveals the exact character that makes us worthy of receiving everything back. And sometimes, the CEO who seems heartless is actually looking for someone real enough, brave enough, and loyal enough to see past wealth to what actually matters, and that someone is standing in his office, terrified but defiant, offering $50,000 and a desperate hope that love still counts for something in a world obsessed with profit. If this moved you, share and subscribe for more stories about character mattering more than circumstance. Comment about someone who saw your worth when others dismissed you. Those people who look past surface judgments to recognize courage, they change our entire understanding of what it means to be valuable.